Okay, let's get right to it. Is there going to be a vote on health care this week?
According to what I heard about Senator McCain's operation, the answer is no. And I think I have to take the leaders. He makes a decision of what's coming up. And so we're told it won't come up this week.
Do you think that Senator McCain's health, obviously everyone wishing him well, but do you think Senator McCain's health will actually end up delaying this vote until after August recess?
No, I don't think so, because of course, I don't know exactly what his condition is, but what I've heard over the weekend, it seemed to me like it wasn't anything that's going to keep him from the Senate for a long period of time. So I expect maybe as long as we're going to be in session now till August the 12th, I believe, instead of having a 5-week break for summer break, we're going to have a 3-week break, and I would assume that we're going to be able to get this done before the summer break's over.
Now, as more time goes on, there's about 8 to 12 Republicans who are undecided on this piece of health care legislation. Where do you stand on it?
Well, for sure, I stand on voting to bring it up, because I think all 100 senators ought to have a chance to consider it and debate it, and we have a responsibility to make sure it's brought up. So I have very definitely a yes vote to bring it up. But if you're asking me, like people, and I've asked by the Iowa Press just today, I think it'd be a good thing not to do like Senator or Speaker Pelosi said, we got to pass it to know what's in it. I think people expect us to know what's in it beforehand, and there's going to be some changes now before it's actually brought up next week, and then there's going to be some amendments adopted. So I want to wait until we get done with all the amendments before I decide how to vote.
What are some changes you would like to see to the bill? Well,
I think a lot of the changes have already been made. There may be other changes that I like or don't like, but number one was affecting Iowa in 2 ways. One, we got 72,000 people that can't get insurance. If we pass a bill, I think those 72,000 will be able to get insurance. And then on the Medicaid portions of it, the original, or at least the House bill, used 2016 as a benchmark. That's very bad for Iowa, because Iowa privatized its Medicaid over the last 2 years, and so we have a better benchmark worked in.
I want to ask you about something else that's coming in the pipeline. That's tax reform. What is the timeline on that? Do you have to get health care done before you address tax reform before the end of the year?
You don't absolutely have to get it done ahead of time, but if you get it done, it's going to make passing tax reform a lot easier.
And the border adjustment tax is essentially dead.
It never had much support in the United States Senate, and I wonder if it has any support whatsoever in the House of Representatives now. I think we're going to have to work on a pattern that was set in the 1986 tax bill, broaden the tax base and lower marginal tax rates.
Let me ask you a final question on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Sure. What is the status of the interviews and the investigations? Who are you hoping to have testify before this committee with regards to Russia and its meddling?
Well, we're trying to get Paul Manafort and trying to get Trump. And I think since I feel very comfortable about inviting Trump Jr. because he said he wanted to be very transparent. He seems talk about anything you want to talk about. And I think that it ought to satisfy everybody that what he has said now on television, people that have some qualms about whether is that the full story. Well, any of the witnesses that come before my committee are under oath, so then they ought to be satisfied they're getting the answers. And as far as I'm concerned, based upon what I don't know him personally, but what I do know about him in public comments, he's very willing to tell his side of the story.
You would like the president to testify for?
No, I'm sorry. I meant to say
just
Trump
wanted to clarify. All right.